All right, we finished part one of our Kawaii Kitty and we finished the body part. Now let's move on to our feet, tail, and ears. We're gonna start with the magic ring, same as we did before. You'll find the magic ring gets used a lot when we're making amigurumi or crochet toys. Okay, so in case you forgot, we're going to take our string with the short end in your left hand, the part attached to the ball in your right hand, and we're just going to make a circle crossing at the top. Bring that back around and we got our pretzel. Then with our hook in our left hand, we'll pick up that little right cross part of the pretzel with our hook, just like that. And that's going to be the start of our magic ring. I'm going to hold everything together like that in my left hand while I wrap the yarn around my right hand. Okay, we're ready. So let's go ahead and wrap around and pull it through. Okay, now remember we go into the big part of the ring, wrap around and pull it through. Can kind of adjust and make everything a little bit tight. Wrap that around, pull it through. That's one single crochet. Okay, put the hook through the big ring, grab the yarn and pull it through. There's 2 loops on there. Grab the yarn, pull it through again. Now we have 2 single crochets. We want 6, same as when we were making the body of our Kawaii Kitty. We want 6, okay? So let's do 3, 4, 5, 6. By the way, if I didn't say, we're starting with the feet, and we're going to make 4 of them, of course. Okay, so now we want to tighten up that ring. So go ahead. I like to hold it down at the beginning and pull everything tight. All right, now we got a good start. Okay, now just like we did before, we're going to increase in the next round. Okay, so we have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to 2 crochet right here, 2 single crochet right here. That's increase. So I'm going to hook that right through both of those loops for that first round. Bring my yarn over and pull it through. Bring my yarn, pull through again. Okay, that's 1. Now I want to do another one in the same place. Okay. 2. Okay, now in each of the next ones we're going to do 2. Okay, and the next one here, single crochet 3, single crochet again in the same one, 4. Okay, now we're moving to the next one right here. Put my hook in, single crochet 5 in the same one. Put my hook in, single crochet 6. All right, now the next one right here. Put my hook all the way through those loops. Pull my yarn up, single crochet 7. Now in the same one, bring my loop up, single crochet 8. Moving to the next one, hook in. Make sure we go through both loops. Yarn round, pull up, single crochet 9. Now in the same one, pull my loop up, yarn round, 10. Now in the next, go my hook through both loops, single crochet 11, last one, single crochet 12. All right, pull my thing a little bit tighter. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Okay, now what we're gonna do, you can put a stitch marker here if it helps you remember, or we can just keep count in our heads. We're going to single crochet all the way around 2 times. Okay, so we're going to single crochet all the way around. So I'm just going to count 12 single crochets starting right here in the next stitch. Okay, so all single crochets. 1, next one, 2, next one, 3, right here, 4, here, 5, next one, 6, here, 7, oh, make sure I go through both loops, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so we need to do that again. So again, 12 single crochet around. So this is starting our next round, so I'm going to count 1, a little bit faster, 2, if I'm going too fast, you can pause the video, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that's actually all that we need to do for the foot. So what you're going to do now, remember how we did when we fastened off the body? I am going to take my scissors, and we actually want to leave a little bit longer of a tail. I would say maybe 5 or 6 inches, because we're going to use that to sew the foot onto the body. So I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to pull this all the way through. So I'm going to wrap it around my hook, pull it all the way through. Okay, that's fastened off. Now that beginning round, that piece of yarn, I can actually cut it a little shorter. I don't need to cut it all the way down, but I can cut it maybe this short, just like an inch. And it can just kind of roll up inside the foot. Okay, that's going to end up being one of our feet. And I want you to make 3 more exactly like that. Okay, so go ahead and rewind the video if you need to and make 3 more of those. All right, we have 4 feet. Now, if you kind of want to see in part 3 of our video series, I'll show you how to sew these on. You can kind of see how these are going to go on there like that. Okay, next part is the tail. Okay, our little tail here, he's kind of sticks up like that. And actually we're gonna start the same way. So you get a lot of repetition here with the magic ring. Okay, start with the magic ring. So go ahead and put that the short end on your left hand, part connected to the ball in your right hand, and start that magic ring. So it's crossing at the top, coming around to make our pretzel. Our hook goes under there, just like that. And then I'm just gonna kind of pinch everything in my left hand as I wrap my yarn. Now I do like to kind of pull it out like this every once in a while so it's not getting too tight against the ball. All right, now I got the ring in my right hand ready to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick up the yarn and pull it through that first loop. Now I'm going to put it into the big loop, pick up my yarn, and this forms my first single crochet. Now the tail, we're going to do 6 again. Okay, so that was 1. Go back into the big loop, pick up the yarn, pull it through, that's 2. Into the big loop, pick up the yarn, wrap it around, pull it through, that's 3. Into the magic ring, pick up the yarn, wrap it around, pull through, that's 4. Now sometimes if you want, you can go ahead and start to tighten it now. All right, let's keep going. We need 2 more. Into the big loop or magic ring, pull up the yarn, wrap around, 5 and 6. All right, now pull that all the way tight. Now the tail is formed by just building up from this magic ring. So we're not going to do any increases. We're just going to single crochet all the way around 4 times. Okay, now last time I didn't put a stitch marker, but if you're someone who loses count easily, you're always welcome to put a stitch marker, okay? I usually put the stitch marker at the end of my last round. So right here where my hook is at, I can go ahead and slide that in there. And we're gonna want to single crochet all the way around 4 rounds. So we're gonna do 6 single crochet around, and we're gonna repeat that 4 times, okay? Now make sure I go into the right one. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right here was actually the first one in my last round. That's the one I'm going into. Okay, and make sure you always go under both loops. Okay, so that's 1, 2. Now this is going to be a little bit tighter since we're not increasing, so I need to make sure I go into the next one. So this was number 2, so I don't want to go back in here. I need to go in here, okay? So that's number 3. Let me move Kawaii Kitty out of the way a little bit. Okay, 3. And then the next one is right here. 4. Okay, now the next one is right there. next one is right above my stitch marker. 6. Okay, that was single crochet around 1 time. Now we need to do that 3 more times. So starting right here for the next round. It's okay to kind of pinch it close like this, just making sure you're going into the right stitch. Okay, that's number 1. Or even pinch it, sorry, this way. This is the next one right here. Okay, pull that around, that's 2. Okay, and I keep having to pinch it a little differently so I can see the next stitch right there. From the top, the next stitch is right here. So from the top you can see right there. Make sure I'm also not grabbing the short end. I'm always grabbing the one in my hand. So grabbing the yarn, that's 3. Okay, the next one is right there. I'm kind of showing you from the top so it's easier to see. 4. Right here. 5. 6. Okay, so we single crocheted around 2 times, so you do that 2 more times. Now it's easier now to just kind of pinch it like this as I'm holding it and then turn it as I go. Okay, so here's the next one right here. One. Okay, right there. See, I can get both loops. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. All right, one more round of that, okay? If you want at this point to get this out of the way, we can go ahead and cut that short so it's not in your way. It'll just kind of get tucked in there. Okay, one more round. Okay, starting right here. You can see the hole there where you're going to stick your hook until it sticks through the middle. All right, that is a 1. 2. I'm kind of using the hook to make sure it gets in that hole. Do you see how I'm kind of like hooking it in and then pushing out through the center to make sure I'm getting both loops? 3. 4. 5. 6. Yay, we are finished. Go ahead and take that stitch marker out and fasten off. Again, we want to leave a longer tail, like 5-6 inches, because we're going to use that to sew everything on. Pull it all the way through. Now I know that seems really short, but when it's sewn onto the back, he is kind of short, just like that. Okay? All right, now the last part, the ears. The ears are going to be a little bit of a challenge, but by now you have done the magic ring several times and worked your way around. You can do it. It's a little more challenging because we want to make it a little more cone shaped with the point. when we did the magic ring before, we were working more a round shape, okay? Still, we're gonna make the magic ring same as before, okay? There's crossed, pretzel, and then picking up that right part of the pretzel. Same as before. I'm getting everything tight. The difference here, go ahead and pull that yarn through the first time. All right, we're only going to do 3 single crochet into the magic ring. Last times we've done 6, this time only 3, okay? So put your hook through the magic ring, pick up the yarn, wrap your yarn around, pull through those loops, that's 1 single crochet. Same thing into the ring, pick up your yarn, wrap around, pull through the loops, that's 2. Into the ring, pick up your yarn, wrap your yarn around, pull through, that's 3. Okay, go ahead and pull it tight. All right. Now, something that helps me to make it a little rounder is I'm going to take this round, the short tail, across. All right. Since we're making a cone shape, I'm going to increase, so I'm going to do 2 single crochet in each one, and each of the single crochets from the last round. It's going to be extra important to find the right spot, okay? So here was 3, here was 2, here is 1, the first single crochet I made. I need to go into that 1 and go through both loops. It's going to feel a little bit awkward, okay? And make sure you wrap around, and I kind of pinch it here to help me since it's a little tight, okay? Pull the loop through, wrap around, pull through again, okay? Now I want to go back into the same one, so see, this is where I just stitched right here, right here. I'm going to go back into that one again and do another single crochet. That's 2. Okay, the next one is right here, not where I was at, but right there. Make sure you go under both loops if I look at it from the top. Okay, there's single crochet number 3. Now back into the same one. 4. Okay, now into the next one. Now it's looking kind of funny, remember, because we're making a cone. So the next one is right here. Make sure I kind of hook my hook under both loops. All right, 5, back into that same space, 6. All right. All right, this time we're gonna do single crochet and then an increase. All right, or actually I'm gonna do it in reverse. I'm gonna do increase and then a single crochet. So in this next stitch right here, I'm gonna do another increase. This is the next round, so this counts as 1. Oops, sorry about that. So right here, and single crochet. Now going back into the same one. That's 2. Now in the next one right here, I'm going to do just a single crochet. Make sure I get under both of those loops. Okay, 3. Okay, next one I'm going to do another increase. So I'm moving on to this one right here. Okay, hook under there. 4. Now into the same space. 5. Okay, the next one right here is going to be a single crochet. 6. Okay, next one's going to be increase right here. Okay, so 7. Go back into the same one for 8. and then the next one right here, 4, 9, and that is it for the ear. So go ahead and cut off your tail. Fasten that off. And remember that the shorter string that was in the middle. I'm actually gonna, see how it stick, this is my ear right here, just like that. I know it looks kind of funny right now. And this is sticking outside of the ear. I want it to be on the inside. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my hook, I'm gonna stick it down through the middle all the way so it comes out where that tail is. And I'm gonna wrap that yarn around it and pull it through. So it's coming through the middle of my ear now. Okay? So that's gonna be the ear, like that. And you can, the one that's going into the middle, we can go ahead and cut that short. And it'll just get tucked up inside, okay? So when I sew my ear on, it's a little bit of a cone shape, just like that. Okay, do one more of those. So if you need to follow along, go ahead and rewind the video to the beginning of the ear section and make a second ear. All right, you're ready for making the final stage of your Kawaii Kitty. We have our 4 feet, the body of course, our tail, and our ears. In my next video, I'll be showing you how to stitch the nose and some eyelashes and some little cute parts under the eye. You can see that a little better here in my brown Kawaii Kitty. And I'll be showing you how to sew on all of the parts. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to my videos for more beginners tutorials for left-handed crochet. And check out my Etsy shop where you can find a kit to purchase all of the materials you need for Kawaii Kitty and patterns for other cute amigurumi.